Great way to start off there. California legislators have perpetuated the most egregious and irresponsible conduct. We see this in front of the scene with rampant homelessness, exorbitant taxes, rising inflation, and out-of-control crime sprees, which are now afflicting every major city in California. We see this prominently and visibly because we experience it every day. But I am here to tell you that misconduct extends behind the scene, where legislatures, administration officials, and their special interests scheme to bilk the taxpayer at every opportunity, and then spend resources and funds in the most undisciplined and irresponsible manner. This corruption must end. An independent watchdog, free from the single-party apparatus to serve as a check and balance on a legislature run amok, and to be truthful to the public about the state's dire financial predicament and the negligent administration of funds. My name is Jack Guerrero, City Council member, mayor, certified public accountant with over 20 years of professional experience in finance and treasury functions, and your Republican candidate for California Treasurer. I am conservative, constitutionalist, supporter of religious liberty, 100% pro-life, and 100% sense. The timing and the stakes in this election cycle could not be more critical for the position of California Treasurer, a consequential office which is responsible for the administration of the state's investments, the sale of government bonds, and the representation on numerous commissions and boards, including state pension, where taxpayer advocacy has been conspicuously absent. For example, the Stanford University Economics recently pegged the amount of the pension liability for combined CalPERS, CalSTRS, and University of California pension funds at a staggering $1 trillion. This is the present value of the future stream of obligations, promises that we have made to retirees over and above the present value of the assets. And that debt continues to accrue at alarming and economically unsustainable ways. For reference, the annual budget for the state of California hovers around $150 billion, which means that we could not tax you 10 times over and recover from that gap. Alas, fuzzy math politicians continue to use unrealistically achievable discount rates to hide the true valuation, to keep it off the books, and to perpetuate unsustainable pension schemes while offering only Band-Aid solutions to a program that requires triple bypass surgery. As a former pension auditor and university lecturer in statistics, I can confirm for you with mathematical certainty that the system as currently structured will fail, and it will shortchange every stakeholder, including workers and retirees, and most especially the taxpayer. We can no longer afford to kick this proverbial can down the road. The state treasurer has also overseen the largest issuance of government bonds in modern history to accommodate almost lockstep the legislature's addiction to irresponsible spending, resulting in relatively unfavorable credit rating. In fact, a AA negative, while still investment grade, positions California in the bottom 20% of states, with only 6 states worse than us, including Illinois, which is just about to fall apart. The consequence of Sacramento's irresponsible conduct and budgetary largesse has been favorable payouts to Wall Street bankers to the detriment of taxpayers. You see, government debt is not free money. We have to pay interest and significant transaction costs, but it gets worse than that. On combined basis, when we add all of California's government debt, including the unfunded liability for pensions and health care, which politicians conveniently leave out, and the state of California's share of the federal debt, and then compare this to California's gross domestic product, we end up with a debt to GDP ratio hovering around 125%, just shy of the ratios we observed in peripheral Eurozone countries like Greece and Portugal, which were afflicted with austerity measures and near collapse just 10 years ago. To me, as an economist, this is an alarming early warning indicator. I shall testify to the threat of irresponsible debt issuance at every legislative committee during every budgetary cycle until the truth is widely disseminated to every stakeholder, and most especially to the taxpayer. The State Treasurer's Office has also pursued socialist pet projects, ventures with astounding inefficiency, and not only that, with questionable constitutional authority. From ideas about state banks run by government bureaucrats to state-managed defined contribution accounts for workers with less return, less efficiency, and greater cost than readily accessible programs in the private sector. We need bold leadership today to stem the propensity for abuse, to champion taxpayer interest, and to serve as a check and balance on the single-party legislature. I humbly submit my candidacy for CRA endorsement. I bring to the table a unique combination of both private and public sector experience. As an economist, a treasury professional, a certified public accountant, merger and acquisitions advisor to Fortune 500 companies, and in my early career as an auditor of municipalities and government agencies, all transferable skill sets that can bring the necessary competence and discipline to the State Treasurer's Office. In fact, the current incumbent of the Treasurer position is also a CPA who began her career at the same firm in the same office that I did. I speak the same technical language, and I can go toe-to-toe with her on any debating platform, anytime, anywhere. Since 2013, I have served my constituents in the city of Cudahy and Los Angeles County as mayor and council member, ushering in reform measures, exposing deficiencies in the city's internal controls, engaging the California Controller for a consequential forensic examination, and lowering taxes and fees in my class community at every opportunity. I also did the unthinkable as mayor and held public hearings on the quality of education in my local public schools. It may not have been within my formal jurisdiction, but it was certainly within my moral obligation. And my meddling in school affairs led to the reform of one school's entire administration. I achieved this as the only Republican on the city council, the only Republican in a 7-city radius elected to office, and the only Republican representing my constituents at any level of government. Needless to say, I ruffle feathers regularly, and I am a persistent thorn on the side of the left-wing political establishment. In recent years, I sought election to the city council and was viciously attacked by the local Democratic called a Tea Party extremist, a radical Republican with links to Donald Trump. Not a bad opposition tactic, considering my town is 98% Hispanic and 90% Democrat. Unfortunately for the establishment, my constituents have had more confidence in me and have re-elected me consistently as among the highest vote getters in the recorded history of my city. Let this be a testament to our ability as Republicans to win elections, even in deep blue communities, without having to compromise on values. I am the son of hardworking Mexican Catholic immigrant parents. I was raised in a tough neighborhood surrounded by poverty, gangs, and decrepit schools, an experience which has informed my passion for education for the next civil rights issue of our day. Young during the presidency of Ronald Reagan, I became a Republican because I was determined to escape poverty, obtain a quality university education, and achieve a better life for my family. Republican ideas and policies offered hope and upward mobility. And it is only through the grace of God, hard work, and a raw ambition for self-improvement that I was able to escape a decrepit public education in one of the most mismanaged school districts in California and go on to Harvard and Stanford to obtain degrees. Only in our country is my story even possible, and I want to share the same opportunity that the American dream afforded me to extend to young people everywhere. In this sense, I share our collective goal for preservation of that dream, which has been so severely undermined by California legislators through government negligence, constitutional breach, civil liberties subversion, and irresponsible financial conduct, with nary a whimper from a straight treasurer who should be calling this out. The incumbent treasurer has had her chance. She has not led. I will. My name is Guerrero, candidate for treasurer. And God bless the United States of America.